Hello and good evening for the last time in 2018. This is my last live broadcast of the year, and I hope that you will enjoy this as much as you've enjoyed the other live streams. It is December the 31st. It's just after 11 o'clock at night, and it's 2018. So welcome to those of you coming in on the broadcast. Hi Tegan, hi Janet, and for those of you watching on the replay, also a big welcome. So it's party night. I've got my Happy New Year boppers on. I'm a bit late because I was having, hi Mo, I was having issues with my phone again, would you believe it? I put the title up and I went to go live and the camera wouldn't turn round onto me. It was only showing you the other side of the camera and I didn't know whether it was going to work. I just fiddled about and decided, hi Ruby, and it actually decided it would actually play the game for the last time in 2018. So this is my last broadcast of 2018, one of very many broadcasts. I don't know how many broadcasts I've done. I was looking through some of them earlier just to do a little bit of reminiscing. Party night, that's it. Oh, you party night and you've napped on the sofa. Tonight I didn't have a nap. I had a nap. I had a nap last night before my broadcast, but tonight I haven't. Yep, that's it. Can you see? Look, this is, let me just, I don't know, wait a minute. I don't know if you can see it. Wait, let's just see if you can see. Look, oh, it's a bit of a glare, but it's actually a globe. It's a globe. It's making the pretty patterns up there. It was what was in my packet of makeover stuff for Lilac Lil, in Lilac Lil's bag. You've shared me, have you? That's very kind of you. Whoops, what am I doing? Scrunching things on the floor. So, you know, I just was looking back over the year. I have had absolutely no idea how many live streams I've done through the year. There's Tristan coming in now. Hi Tristan, nice to see you. Angela's coming in, Karen's there, everybody. Okie dokie, yes. Well, as I say, I was looking back. I started to look back and make a list of what I'd done in 2018 because I didn't even remember, and I was on the Isle of Wight live page, and so I'm going to go through some of the things that I have done this year, but I didn't get all the way through, and so I might have to just look at them on the screen because there were just so many of them. You know, for example, when I went to the Brighton Christmas Tree Festival, I did about 15 live streams on one day, you know, so when you do that, it's just, there are so many things to remember. They're still there, you see, all the memories are there on the Isle of Wight.live page, on the Golivegranny page, and of course I only became known as a Golivegranny partway through this year. I was using the hashtag livestreamlyn before that, and then partway through the year when Lottie Hearn from the Ladies That Go Live, and Lottie's over in Ireland, when she interviewed me, she decided that Golivegranny was the title I ought to go by, and it was actually lovely. I love that title, and it's worked very well. And then today, having sort of not caught up with me for a little while, she suddenly caught up and saw and tagged me in lots of things, and I think we'll be having lots, hi Jackie, having lots more connections going through into the new year, and she put some very lovely things in her comments about me. That's right, everybody wishing everybody Happy New Year. It's just amazing. So my day today has been a pootly one. I've pootled about, but I have been into Newport and done a bit of pootling in Newport, but I've also got my new laptop. It's not brand new, but it's new to me. I have a laptop now. So I've got the new laptop. I haven't got the new phone yet. I haven't got the new iographer yet. I have got the gimbal ready for when I've got those things. So going into, I don't think it'll be very long before the new phone, the brand new iPhone 10 arrives, and the iographer. I know that Dave has already sent the iographer through from America because he asked me if it had arrived the other day, as I was going out to catch the bus this morning, the post van came up the road. So I actually came back to see whether they were going to be delivering me a parcel, but they weren't actually, but it didn't matter. So anyway, so I have the laptop. I haven't actually done anything with it yet because I've been too busy doing bits and pieces for today, looking through some of the stuff that I've done, doing a little bit of tidying up, catching up with some of my washing and my dish, and washing my dishes and that, because I was a bit behind with that. So it's been that sort of day, and caught up, with various people online and that sort of thing. So it's been that sort of day. And then, as I say, looking back, and so many happy memories of 2018. It got better and better as the year went on. I made more and more contacts, more and more lovely friends as we went through the year. And it's just the community has grown and grown. So when I look back on the Isle of Wight live page, so I did it via that. The first live stream that I did on that page wasn't until March. I can't believe it. It was a March one, and it was the raising of the Commonwealth flag down at Eastern Gardens, which is near Super Bowl in Ryde. And I remember that. I think it was quite a chilly day that day, but I managed to get down there and catch the raising of the Commonwealth flag. So that was in March. At the beginning of the year, I didn't do as many live streams as I've done later on in the year. They were a bit more sparse. So in March again, I went down to the Key Arts Centre and showed around there and said what a good venue it was. Showing it off as a venue. And then on Easter Sunday, I was at Freshwater Bay, and I remember that it was a bitterly cold day, and my son Toby and his fiancée Cheryl were here on the island, and they wanted to go and do some bits and pieces around the island, and then they were going to pick me up, and was this right? And then we were going to go off the island and up to London, but they wanted to go. We were going via Yarmouth. That's right. We were going on the Yarmouth ferry, so we were over that side of the island, and so they wanted to go onto the beach at Freshwater, so they took me over there, and I remember it was absolutely bitter that day. Bitterly cold, and it was raining, and they took me and they planted me in the Albion Hotel, which is at Freshwater Bay, and they found me a nice warm radiator. I remember it was so cold, they found me a radiator in the lounge, and I was able to sit next to the radiator keeping warm. And I remember they gave me a chocolate bunny because it was Easter, and I remember a hot drink and a chocolate bunny. No, it wasn't snowing. It was very cold though. It wasn't snowing. And I watched them out of the window. They went and did a bit of a beach clean because they wanted to go out and on the beach. It didn't matter that they didn't care that it was raining. And there were some litter picker. There's a stand with bags and litter picking stuff on. So they got hold of that, and I enjoyed watching them from inside the nice warm Albion Hotel. And of course, yesterday I was down with Jackie, who's in the broadcast here. She took me. We were in Freshwater yesterday. We went to the Isle of Wight Pearl to retrieve my Golivegranny Christmas tree because it had to be collected after the Christmas tree festival. And we were down there yesterday near the Albion Hotel. Wasn't as cold yesterday. Hi Nathan, nice to see you. And so I sat in the hotel watching my family out on the beach doing what they wanted to do, and so I was in the warm, and then we went off on up to London. I think we were going to my daughter's probably after that. My tree looked brilliant. I was pretty pleased with it, Ruby. And Nathan is in Scotland. I knew he was heading up to Scotland, so he's doing the Scottish New Year. I've done that in the past. I've spent Christmas and New Year in Scotland in the past, and that was quite a fun experience many years ago. Hope you're having a nice time up there, Nathan, and that you got up there safely. So, so Freshwater Bay it was on Easter Sunday. And then we hop on to April as I was looking through the live streams. and I came across Bodster. And for those of you who don't know what Bodster is a charity here on the island. Joe and Giles Boddington, I met them some time ago, some years ago. They had an exhibition stand at the college, and I went to this event. I can't remember what the event was, but I went there to have a look round, and I met them and found out the wonderful work they're doing with using ponies to help do a lot of work with people with dementia and learning difficulties, and the work that they can do with the ponies is absolutely amazing. So over the years I've been watching them. They went for some funding, and I helped them in the past go, to spread the word, so that they got some funding. I think it was an Aviva funding back then, and I know they got that, and we helped. Various people helped, and obviously the social media helped on that one. But hi Sandy. But this year, in April, they were up for the 50,000 lottery funding, the People's Lottery. And I know I mentioned it in my broadcast the other day, but I'm going to mention it again because obviously I'm reminiscing now through the year. And they were invited to put in for the People's Lottery 50,000 funding, or around. They had to put their bid in for what they wanted, so it wasn't exactly 50,000. It was whatever they wanted, and they were after a horse box and some photographic equipment. And so I think their bill came, for the equipment they wanted, it came to about 48,000, and whatever. It wasn't an exact 50,000, and they were up against 4 other or groups who were also bidding for the funding. There were 5 in the Meridian West section, and the top 3 on votes, so it was down to votes, the top 3 had to were going to get the 50,000 funding. The last 2 in the category did get a small amount of funding, but obviously the 50,000 funding would enable them to do a lot more of the wonderful work. Yeah, I know. Yes, I do need to do that. Tegan's looking at my light box, and then the elves over here have had a wonderful time messing about with it. I will have to put them away soon, and then I can put the messages all back. I hope you're enjoying my disco lights here. That was in the box for Lilac Lil. Thank you, Nathan. Nathan saying happy New Year to everybody in the group. Yes, and so going back to the Bodster campaign, so Giles and Joe and Giles had to ask me if I would. That's it. Yeah, I'll have to find some other things to come here. And in fact, when I get my new phone, and now I've got my new laptop, I may not always sit in this position. I've got other places around my flat that I could probably sit and maybe make a different display around the back. So watch this space. But yes, so going back to the Bodster campaign, that was amazing. We had 2 weeks to get the votes in. And so we were all ready. There were those of them people who were going out, giving leaflets out in the libraries and in the streets and all that. And I was primed with leaflets to give out when I was on the bus, but also to push on the live stream, on the social media and the live stream. And so that was where I had to, focus my efforts. And of course, over that 2 weeks, it was all Bodster. We were so focused on getting those votes in for Bodster. And I was privileged to be invited to the opening of the envelope on the. So we started on a Monday, and we had 2 weeks. I think we finished on the Friday of the 2nd week. And then we had no idea. I don't think we had any idea. We were the smallest place of the 5 places in that final group. We were the smallest community. Well, I say we were. The Isle of Wight's small, but of course our community, we had we have a much bigger community. Even though the island is small, we have a community here growing all the time. So it's not just an island community anymore. And so we were very, very fortunate to come in in the top 3. In fact, we smashed it and we came in at number 1, which was pretty amazing. And as I say, I was privileged to be there at the opening of the envelope, and that was recorded for Meridian TV, and that was done on the Wednesday after the voting closed, and we had to keep our mouths closed until Thursday at 6 o'clock. So we recorded at Wednesday at about 11. When it was revealed, when the envelope was opened and it was revealed that we'd won the money, but I wasn't allowed to tell. And of course, people were saying, "Oh, Lynn, do you know how we've done?" And all I had to say, I couldn't tell a lie because I knew how we'd done, but I couldn't tell people I knew because it had to be a secret, because everybody needed to know at the same time. So it was revealed on TV, on Meridian TV, at 6 o'clock. On the Thursday, and so I just had to say to people, "Oh, they're revealing the answer at 6 o'clock," which I didn't lie then, that I didn't say I didn't know, but I didn't say I did know either. So it was a tricky one. It was so exciting, though, really exciting to be a part of that. So that was a major part of the live stream, and of course we had the other things in the major parts of the live stream. The voting for the Ride Carnival, that happened later in the year, and again it was down to public vote. It was voting for the people, getting people to vote. Because Ride Carnival was up against 10 other carnivals in the country to be voted the most popular carnival, and you know, in the end it was a 2-horse race, basically. But we were in the lead at one point, and then we dropped into second place, and on the Friday night we were 800 points behind the leader, and people were giving up. And actually, you know, at that point I revved up, because I knew that where people would say, "Oh, we can't do this, we're 800 points behind," I knew the power of the live stream, and I knew if as a community we worked together, we could smash it. And of course we did. So I became a facilitator. I did what I needed to do. I pushed the live stream button and I went live streaming on and off all the time. So Friday night was, we were 800 points behind, and we only had till Tuesday night to get into the lead. But of course, you know, it gives a real adrenaline rush when these things happen, and it's so exciting, and especially when you can see the votes going up. Thank you, Ruby. And it's just proving the power of the live stream, you know, because I knew we could do it. It was just convincing other people that actually if they got behind it, and it was enthusiasm breeds enthusiasm. So if I got enthusiastic, I knew other people. I could bring other people on. Lovely, thank you, Janet. Yes, it was lovely meeting you. So there's been so many wonderful things. I've met so many of you this year who were just at one point not just but Facebook friends who hadn't known. So, you know, I've actually met a lot of you personally, and that's been really great. So I'm just going to go through some more of the live streams that I did. I've listed them here. What was this one? Oh yes, back in April, after the Bodster campaign, I went down to Sandown and did some live streaming in Sandown, and it was very, very hot. I remember it being like a summer's day. It was in April, but I remember doing lots of live streaming down there, and it was like absolutely like a summer's day. I think people were still eating ice cream at 7 o'clock at night. It was so very warm. And then a week later, it was the silliest hat competition down in Ryde. And it was bitterly cold. It was quite the opposite of the week before. It was absolutely bitterly cold. But they had a sandcastle competition and they had a silly hat competition. And I made this silly hat. I made an enormous silly hat and then missed the judging of it because I turned around to put my camera down and they judged it while in the blink of an eye. And so I didn't win. And I'd wanted to win because I'd wanted to win the money to put into the White Brainy Bunch the brain tumour charity here on the island, but it didn't matter. You know, other things have happened. I won, instead of which I won some money on the lottery, the free lottery, and I put that into the. I won £10 there, and because it hadn't cost me anything, I thought, well, why don't I give this to charity? And so I've said to the People's Lottery I wanted to put it into charity, and actually as I did it I realised that if you do give it to charity they double it, so £10 became £20, but also there in that lottery there's some bonuses, and I got some bonuses, so the £10 actually became it became nearly £30 that went into, so that was good. You know, I didn't get the tenner from the silly hat competition, but I did get £30 put into there. I will give you the link later, Janet, on that one, because yeah, I'll find the link and I'll give it to you. I'll put it out every now and again. I put it out because it's free to do it. Today somebody in Ride has there's one of the, I mean, there's all different categories. There's the main lottery, and then there's the video lottery, and there's a stack pot and a bonus. There's lots of different prizes, and today the bonus prize, one of the bonus prizes, which is what I won when I won it, is actually in Ride. It was a PO33 postcode today, which is my postcode is PO33, but it wasn't PO33. The rest of my postcode, it was PO33 at 1 ER, I think it was, or whatever. And I looked it up, and it's St John's Road, or St John's Road, I think. And so I put that out. I've highlighted it on social media in the hope that somebody who's got it will see and claim. Make sure they claim, because it's, you know, but it's free to do, so why wouldn't you want to do it? And what I do, I've got several people of my family who do it. They don't check it. You do have to check it every day, because if you miss it, you can't claim it after you've missed it. But I check it for them, so you know, I'm happy to check people's, you know, because I check it every day, and I see, you know, if you know, if my family or my friends have their postcodes there. As long as I know your postcode, I can check it for you. So anyway, so Silliest Cat competition was in April, and then in May we had the wonderful Hullabaloo. Hullabaloo was a weekend of two lovely days down in Sandown, and it was a fun-filled family weekend. And one of the things that they did, they had a competition to pimp your wheels. And so, of course, it didn't matter whether it was your pushchair, whether it was your wheelchair, whether it was your Lilac Lil. So I pimped Lilac Lil, and I did it up totally with a seaside theme. So I had like a glitter. It was glittery, but I had like a glittery sort of tinsel that actually represented seaweed, and I had a lovely blue plastic that represented the sea, and I got a knitted mermaid on there. I got some knitted bits, I'd got some all sorts of other bits. It represented the sea. But of course I wanted to live stream the parade, and if I was in the parade it was very difficult to live stream it. So what I did, I live streamed it as it went past, and then I joined on the end of it. It does sound funny, but that's what they called it, pimp your wheels. And it was, you know, I have a lot of fun. And of course, in last night's broadcast, I showed you this bag. This bag was, it says, Dear Lilac Lil, here's a dressing up box for you. Love from Toby and Cheryl. That's my son and my future daughter-in-law. And in here, well, the disco light was in here. And there was some nice glittery crowns. Can you see? 5 crowns. I don't know that she needs 5 crowns. Some lovely googly eyes. Some tinsel. This lovely light, the disco light, that's where that was from. Oops, I've got some lovely heart-shaped bells. Can you see those? They're bells, and they dangle. Oh yes, and that was so I'm going to pimp her up again. I'm going to give her a makeover. So I might do a live stream on that one. but you know, I haven't done it yet because I've been too busy. So yeah, so all these things are always a bit of fun. So you know, and you know me, I like to put the fun into all these things. So Hullabaloo was a great event. I did several live streams down there. They had, oh, what do you call it? Go-karts. They have a go-kart race on one of the days. So people have to make all these fancy go-karts. They had some very interesting people down to give talks on the island. There was a lady from the, I've forgotten who these people were. There was a lady from one of the science museums came down. Lots and lots of things for family to do. A wonderful, wonderful free event. They got funding to put the event on. And you know, what's not to like when there's 2 days of family fun down on Sandown Seafront. So I think they're doing that again this year. But that was absolutely amazing. So that was in May. And then on the 28th of May, it was the Bembridge Village Fair. And I went over to Bembridge, and that's the bank holiday Monday, and they close off the street, and they have stalls all the way down, and they have all sorts of things going on. And I went down there and I had a lovely time over there live streaming that. I live streamed around Osborne House in June, and I've done a lot of live streaming on Western Gardens, which is part of Ryde Seafront, because of course here in my flat I don't have a garden, and so what I do is I go down to Western Gardens and I pretend it's my garden. You know, it's part of the seafront, and it's just lovely, and I like live streaming the ferries going by, and the cruise ships, and all sorts of things going on. And then you get the seagulls and lots of people walking past and all sorts, and it's just a very, very busy but happy place. Hi Diane. We're just doing some reminiscing of 2018 and all the live streams that have happened this year. And then in June we had Armed Forces Day, and Armed Forces Day this year, last year it took place in Ryde. This year I had to go a little bit further, and I went over to Sandown, and we had some pretty good viewing figures on that. I did 3 live streams down there. One of them had 745 views, one of them had 1.3 thousand views, and one of them had 1.7. Happy New Year, 1.7 thousand. So that was the Armed Forces Day. And of course, these numbers can still increase because we can still go on sharing all the happy things that have happened in the past. So they can be shared as Facebook, you know, they can be shared on Facebook again and again. But also I am in the process of uploading all the videos that were taken on Facebook onto YouTube as well, so they can be found on YouTube. Hi Matt, have you finished taking down those lights? Matt, of course, his wonderful light display. He's been part of the light displays for the Christmas lights, and he was taking his lights down today. I saw he live streamed just before he live streamed the last 3 minutes of his lights on display before he packed them away for another year, and he had an amazing display which can be seen on my isleofwight.live page as well. So that, of course, that we're only as I start taking them down tomorrow. Wish you luck. Yes, it's going to take you forever. You had such a fantastic display there. It was a shame I didn't get round to all the all the light displays. I was having issues with the camera, but I'm so glad that I got to you. I'm so glad that my brother and my sister-in-law could get round to you as well. You could make it your garden. That's right. Yes, I could. Well, I always refer to the Western Gardens as my garden, Tegan. Anyway, so, you know, it's just nice down there. So anyway, so the Armed Forces Day, that got us a lot of views. That was a very interesting one. And then the 16th of June was Apley Day. Not terribly well publicised, but, you know, I knew it was on, so I went down there. And then I went to an age-friendly island public forum, and I've forgotten a bit about what that was, but I just took the title when I was looking at the live stream titles. And then I remember going to Shanklin. I don't know if any of you remember. I sat up on the cliff tops in Shanklin. I'd gone over to Shanklin to buy. There was the wool shop over there had a mega deal going on, some really good bargains, and I went over and I remember filling up my trolley with wool, my lilac lil with some bargains of wool, and I remember sitting up on the Shanklin cliff tops looking down and live streaming down across there. So that was really nice. That was in June, and then at the end of June we had the Mardi Gras. And the Mardi Gras did very well on views. We had 4.6 thousand views to the Mardi Gras, and that was just amazing. And actually, it's where some of the children started finding me on YouTube, because I do all my live streaming initially on Facebook, and that's where I had promoted it, and I hadn't actually put them up on YouTube. And now then partway through the year I started putting them on YouTube, although I didn't actually publicise the fact that they were there. And a little boy down my road, he got off the bus after one of the carnivals. He got off the bus at the same time as I did, and he said, I've been watching you, I've been watching your videos. And I said, oh, where did you find me? Thinking he might have watched his mum's Facebook page. And he said, oh, I googled Mardi Gras and I found your video. And of course what happens is I always start the camera on me, you know, do my personal bit before I flip it round for whatever is, you know, whether it's a carnival or whether it's the ride out or whatever it is, I flip it them the other way. And because it was on me first, he saw me, and so he knew that it was mine, because he knows me from seeing me walking up and down the street. He's one of the neighbours further down. And so he then Googled and found lots more of my stuff, my videos, you see. So that was fun. So we had the Mardi Gras, and then we had Sandown Carnival. So Mardi Gras had 4.6 thousand views, and Sandown Carnival had 2.4 thousand views. This was the main carnivals. I haven't got all the different ones down. And then so that was July. That was in July. And then Shanklin Main Carnival, we had 1.5 thousand views, and that was on the 1st of August. And then there's some live streams of me on the Boro beach bike, which is the beach bike that looks like a beach hut, and it takes up to 17 people, and it goes along the seafront. It's a new it was a new attraction this year, and I helped to promote it actually, and got more people to come. And actually at one point I've had 3 rides on it myself now, and at one point we had an opera singer singing while we were on there. They do lots of different activities on there. Ooh, lots of talking here. So I'm just going to look now and see where we got to, because I really, that's how many I got listed. And then, so what happened after that? 22 minutes to 2019. He's on the countdown and he's watching. I've got my party poppers ready. I don't know if you've got your party poppers. I've got my drink. And last night, yeah, like a Dotto train. That's right, Tegan. But it's it's another attraction. Unfortunately, they sold the Dotto train off. But it's another attraction. I've got my. I didn't have. Yeah, that's it. Yes, lots of lovely connections of meeting people. Lots of new connections, and lots of you meeting each other in the broadcast. That's nice too. I'm getting lots of people sending Happy New Year messages. I've got to close the tabs down because I need to see what else we live streamed this year. So what else do we do? Wait a minute, let's have a look. So these are all on the Isle of Wight.live page. Hi Steve, we're just reminiscing about what all the live streaming that's gone on this year, all the new people who've met each other this year. Matt, yes, it was great to meet you. Of course, Matt, I met you through the carnivals. And so we've got loads and loads of carnivals, and the numbers of views of carnivals, I'm not quite, we've had loads. Let's have a look. Let's just see what I did. Shanklin Illuminated Carnival, 2.5 thousand views on the 4th of August. That was Ventnor Carnival Week. Oh yes, in Ventnor Carnival Week, I went over to Ventnor 3 times for all the carnivals, and also I was asked to judge the children's competitions, some of the children's competitions. So there's one there, Ventnor Carnival Week, Golivegranny, 1.9 thousand views there on the 6th of August. And then yes, lots, you know, there's a lot that have gone over the 1,000 into the 2s and 3s and 4,000, so it's just amazing. And of course a lot of you help with that, because when you share, your audiences all see as well, and then we get a lot more views, which is great. So and as I say, we can put these out again and again. It doesn't, you know, it doesn't mean because we put them out once that we don't get to see. Ventnor Illuminated Carnival had 1,000 views. Cowes Main Carnival Parade Part 2, I did it in more than one part. That had 1,000 views. Thank you. And part 3 had nearly 1,000 views. Then, oh yes, and then there was, you know, the bit about helping Ride get the votes in for Ride Carnival. There was all that going on. There's the Newport Illuminated Carnival. That didn't seem to have quite as many. I'm not quite sure, but we, you know, we can always share it some more and get some more views. Then I went to the Garlic Festival, and I did a lot of live streaming around the Garlic Festival. Quite a few. I did lots of different bits there. And then I think I did about 4 or 5 there. And oh no, about six different ones there. And then it was all the voting, loads and loads of things for keeping the voting going for the Ride Carnival. And then scooter weekend, and I went down and I live streamed the scooter weekend, and I got 1,000 views on when I was actually just wandering around on that weekend. And then I think, oh, hang on, wait a minute. Some of the pages are becoming unresponsive now. It's playing up. I went over to East Cowes. That was around the same time as the scooter weekend. I went down. I know Mo was, I met Mo down, or we went down, and it was it was a fundraiser for the Keysy Kindness charity, and I did quite a few live streams down there. And then now where's the one? Here we are on the 26th of August. This is the all-time record. So wait a minute. So before that, no, we had, over that weekend we had the Cowes Illuminated Carnival, which was nearly 1,000. Yes, not quite. And then on the 26th of August, we had the Ride Out. So this was the scooter Ride Out, and this is the all-time record. I stood in the pouring rain. It's only a 4 minutes and 18 seconds. Lots of the scooterists didn't ride out because it was torrential rain. I had promised my audience that I would be there and I would live stream. No, I know, I'm watching the clock. That's right. I promised I would live stream. And so I went out in the rain with my tarpaulin over me. I had an issue. The phone shut itself down. And of course, if you get the phone wet and it's a touch screen, it's very difficult to make it work. Anyway, I managed to just get it going in time. And I did the 4 minute and 18 seconds live stream from underneath the blue tarpaulin. And in 24 hours, we had 20,000 views. That was absolutely amazing. It's gone on to have 26,000 views altogether. You know, there were a lot of scooterists there. There were a lot of scooter groups, organisations there. And of course, it got shared and shared by lots and lots of them. So real magic in that one. That's the one that holds the record at the moment, the 26,000 views. We're going to smash that this coming, you know, in 2019. We are going to smash these records and get far more viewers to these things. St Helens Carnival, which is only a small carnival, that had 2.3 thousand in August. And then we had the Ride Carnivals. And what did we get on the Ride Carnival Main was 1.7 thousand. That one I split it into two, so I got 1.7 on one of them and 2.3 on the other one. And then what else have we got? We've got the Ride Illuminated had 3,000. That's right. Yes, I did. Yes, I'm just looking. Then I did in beginning of September. I went on a tour of Stitching Elmer's, and of course Janet Johns and Leanne, and they have actually bought from I introduced them to Lou of Stitching Elmer's. Online I introduced them, but then I went and did a live stream round the shop so they could actually see into the shop. So that was quite fun. I live streamed the what else have I got here? The Seaview, the community shop in Seaview. So trying to highlight as many things and as many places as I could. But I had a slow start to the year and I wasn't out every day. But some of the days, of course, in the end of the year, I was out doing several live streams in one day. So there's a council meeting I live streamed there that had... No, lot long. That's right, absolutely. I'm watching the clock. It's 23:46 at the moment, so we keep the eye on the time. Yeah, that's it. So what else? Oh, some fireworks going off. I think I can hear. And so then there was the Shaping Ride meeting I went to, the classic car show in Ride, the Isle of Wight Chamber Expo. Unfortunately, that's where people told me I wasn't allowed to live stream because they said it was a private meeting, which it wasn't. It was public, and some of the people were more than happy for me to live stream. So I did do some live streaming there. And then I did the It's a Knockout, but that was again torrential rain, and I sat in the Plaza Ice's ice cream van, live streaming from inside an ice cream van because I know Gary and Debbie who own the ice cream van, so they let me sit in there. Oh yes, and she's saying don't forget my award. Absolutely. In fact, I had more than one award this year. Well, I was runner-up in the Celebrating Age UK awards. There were 2 awards. Two categories, and I came runner-up in 2 categories, got a lovely certificate. I've still got vouchers to go and have cream teas at Lakeside. Yes, Isle of Wight Day was a bad day as well. That's right, we had Isle of Wight Day in September. That was good. One that I missed this year because I was actually on with family. I missed the Pride, the Pride Parade. You've got fireworks going on there, yes, too. Yes, so I didn't live stream the Pride parade, but I live streamed practically every other carnival. I missed the Newport Main Carnival because I was away, but I think I got most of the other carnivals. The Isle of Wight Day, that one on the 22nd of September had 5.3 thousand views. Even if it was wet, we had a lot of views there. And so, I mean, there's more than one thing there. Of course, I'm looking at the Isle of Wight live page. I've also done loads of live streaming on the Golivegranny. I now tend to do all the events on Isle of Wight Live and different things on Golivegranny page. But on this one, on World Tourism Day, I went to the Pink Parrot, which was a new cafe in Sandown, and live stream from there. So it's nice to live stream some of the businesses as well as the events and, you know, some of the charities. I've got a lot of plans for this year. Some of them I don't even know what I'm going to be doing yet. Of course, then later in the year we did the poppies, lots of poppies all over the island. There were lots of poppies. There were lots of knitted poppies and all sorts of other poppies. So we went on a poppy parade. And of course, yes, Ruby and I went to Osborne when she was over here. Yes, I'm ready taking. I'm not going to miss it. You won't let me miss it. It's 10:02. It's 10:02 at the moment. And so of course we had all those lovely poppies, and then we had Remembrance Day parade. Sorry, I was forgetting what it was. 3.6 thousand to that. One of those I wasn't able to load. I don't know what happened, but it wouldn't load up to YouTube. I think I got it on Facebook, but couldn't get it onto YouTube for some reason. Most of the time I've managed to get them. Of course, there've been lots of friendships made over this. Oh yes, sorry, let's just finishing off. Yes, the Santa Dash and the Penguin Plunge were at the end of the year. And then, of course, don't forget the Christmas Tree Festival. And I've got, I did about 15 that day. I think did about 15 live streams. And one of them there's got 1.1 thousand views. Another one's got 1,000 views. Some of them not as many, but, you know, it was an amazing day. Of course, I've had people hi Andrew, I've had people sponsoring me on the Patreon page. I've had people making individual donations, whether it's an item or whatever. And of course, we finished the year with me actually waiting for a brand new iPhone, because this phone is nearly dead. It's absolutely nearly dead and not much good for live streaming anymore. I have to keep it plugged in now. It's holding no battery charge hardly. And so a local business has sponsored me with the new iPhone, which that will be one of my first broadcasts in the new year. Once I get the phone, I will actually live stream with the business who've actually sponsored it. I'm not saying who it is until it's actually here, and you know I can do that. So they have sponsored that. Dave Basuto, who I think I've got his surname right, who creates the iOgrapher, which is the mount that it goes in, the iPhone goes in. There's one of those on its way from America for me. Today I collected the laptop through Jacqueline organised that for me. So lots of great things to start the new year, making the experience for you, the viewers, much better. That's and of course I've got the gimbal that I'm going to be working with the new phone. The gimbal stops the wobble. And so lots and lots of exciting things. And I've got a lot of learning to do. I've got a lot of quick learning to do, because once I get the new phone, I got to learn very fast. Hi, Margaret, everybody coming in here now, just watching the clock. We've got 8 minutes to go. And so just reminiscing. So it's been a wonderful year. I mean, it got better and better as the year went on, as I met more people, as I did more live streaming, and just the community has grown and grown. We've had a few mischievous elves getting up to tricks, obviously, in the background there. But who knows what 2019 holds. I am very, very excited for the future. Of course, at the end of January, I am going up to Wellingborough, near where my son lives. He's organising a 3-day conference, and I am one of the speakers at the conference, and I will be talking about the power of the live stream at that conference. If anybody wants to go, wants details of that, I am a ticket partner, and if you talk to me, you can get a really good deal on that one. So you know, you can go for 1 day, you can go for 2, you can go for 3 days. It's free. If you want to learn a lot, I know that I am going to learn a lot, and that most of the other speakers, a lot of them are world-class speakers. You know, it's a really great lineup, and then I'm there as well. Happy New Year, lovely people. Thank you so much, Ruby. That's lovely. So you know, it's been a great community. You come in and out as and when. It's not too. We've still got 6 minutes, Tegan. You're too quick. My computer says it's 23:54, so we've got 6 minutes still to go. I do have some party poppers. 5:25 to go. There we go. We'll all do a countdown when we get there. So I haven't got alcohol. What I have got here is a bottle of sparkling Plessé hand-picked elderflower, and I got this in Easy Way, one of the lovely shops. Oh, are you? You sent it early. Oh, It's better early than late, Janet, but not to worry. I don't think anybody's gonna worry too much. Yeah, so Easy Way, if you, I'm going to give another plug for Easy Way. You've got Bailey's, oh right, okay. I had Bailey's the other day at my daughter's. So Easy Way is a lovely shop in Pyle Street in Newport. Please support them. Any of you that are on the island, support them. They sell hundreds and hundreds of products, and they you can take your boxes along and get your nuts or your flour or your whatever it is, and you don't have to have any packaging from them. You can take it because they're very eco-friendly. They fill up your your washing up liquid bottles and things like that. You can just get those filled, and it's great. But they do some wonderful things like this hand-picked elderflower. So that's what I've got. That's what I've got in that glass. That's in the big glass. I'm going to have this one first. This is not. This is just some other fizz. So you will have seen me in lots of... Do you like my boppers? These are last year's boppers. Unfortunately, they didn't have the year on them. And I knew where they were. How good was that, you know? So I've lost count of how many hats and boppers I've worn, how many funny glasses, how many... whizzy outfits and things. That won't stop anytime soon because that's all a bit of fun. And of course, yesterday Jackie gave me she gave me another couple of I don't know where I've put them. I showed them on last night's broadcast. There was oh, here we are. This was one of them, and I think Santa got a little bit drunk. Yeah, absolutely. I got 23:57 now. So we're going to be going in, we're just 3 minutes away from the new year. So what is anybody made New Year's resolutions? I don't make resolutions because they only ever get broken. I just look forward to lots of new plans and lots of exciting things. Oh, I am writing my book. Look. Create the story you want to tell, and I'm writing my book in the next week. Here we are, got a couple of books to help me create your own story. So there we are. I have started, and I am aiming to finish my story before the conference, and the conference is at the end of January. So I've said it, Go to bed earlier. Oh, that's one of yours. Oh, I don't know. I don't think that's going to happen for me anytime soon. I'm a bit of a night owl. So how are we doing? We've got 23:58. Yep, absolutely. And all positive thinking. I've got a little thing here that says, worry is a misuse of your imagination. I love these little postcards and little cards. I get lots of these. So it's all about positive stuff. And of course, round the back of the computer, I haven't used them now, but I've got a whole pile of books, and you will, if you've been listening to my broadcast for very long, you will know I sometimes dip in and read out of the books. And there's little books of calm, there's lots and lots of positive things. One of the things you must do is make sure you get the negative people out of your life if you can, because that will make you all feel a huge amount better. I've got rid of 23:59. I don't know whether I don't know if anybody got the actual the countdown on Big Ben. I should have Big Ben up, shouldn't I? I don't know if I can do that. I should have done it because we don't know exactly what time it's going over. So hang on. You see, right.